Hi everyone, Nita Kang here. I'm joined by 4 other women with me, and we're all women business owners. We're known as Women on the Move. I'm a real estate sales representative. We have a home organizer here, a home stager, a mortgage agent, and an insurance broker. I'm going to ask you all to introduce yourself.
Great. Hi, I'm Hilda Rodgers. My business is From Overwhelmed to Organized. I've been a professional organizer for 10 years.
Hi, I'm Maria Savarino, and I'm from Milagro Interiors. I do homestaging and also photography.
Hi, I'm Rosa Jacks, and I am a mortgage agent level 2, and I've been helping people find out how they can afford mortgages and what their next steps are, and working closely with everyone else.
Hi, I am Savitri Dubé. I am your insurance broker, providing auto, home, commercial, life, and financial products. And I am here to help you and to find you great savings on your home insurance.
So, all 5 of us met through a wonderful group called Mississauga and Area Women in Business, where women business owners, where daughters, wives, sisters, and we all have unique experiences, and we thought we would come together and put together this collective called Women on the Move to help women who are thinking about making a move themselves. Maybe they have recently got divorced, maybe they want to relocate for a job, maybe they're looking to downsize. Any sort of life experience that you might be going through where you're relocating, all 5 of us can help out. But we decided not to just offer our services. We want to be a resource for you so that you can come and feel comfortable asking us any questions that you might have. This is why we're hosting an event on May 30th where you can come and join us, and it's a safe space for you to come and ask whatever questions you have. Why do you ladies think it's important for us to host this event by women for women?
I think it's important because as women, we know what other women are going through as well. And we're being a professional in our certain industry, we know what to help, and we have a lot of questions that come out within the process. So we can help you with that and prepare you for when you're ready to move.
Not only that, personal experience. So when you're looking at a single woman, or you're looking at someone who's been newly divorced, or a single mom, or a woman who's lost a husband, women in the past never had the financial independence that they do today. And one thing, you know how that expression is, I wish I had the experience of today when I was 20, or the knowledge of today when I was 20. And one thing that I think we as women can bring forward is our knowledge, our experience, and how we can help women be more independent, be financially independent, set their goals, and go after those goals, and not be afraid of that. Because I think sometimes our fears stop us from going forward, especially when it comes to finances, because that's such a scary word for so many people. And today, of course, inflation and all that stuff. But it's taking that fear away and having their confidence in us to help them, to guide them through their journey.
Yeah. I think this event was largely inspired by the experience that we have had in Mississauga and Area Women in Business. By the way, shout out to Christine Hull. She does a wonderful job with this. We decided to make this more of a specialized group focusing on your real estate transaction and the process from A to Z. How did each one of you get involved in the business that you're in right now? What inspired you to start in the business that you're in?
What truly inspired me was learning for myself, and my personal experience, the importance of women having financial freedom, and also putting your own finances together, and being independent in doing that. You know, from my background, the man always had a leading role in taking care of finances, and I have learned through my own to become quite independent. And the love for that and learning experience, the love for that helped me to grow my business that way. And now that it's been 30 years of experience, I would love to give back to other women and share that and be able to help and serve and bring that to the table for them as well. So that is me giving back in the sense of learning and guiding other women as well.
Yeah, it's such a great thing when women can use their own experience, their
Yes.
professional experience and their personal experience, and share it with other women and help other women. So at this table, we've got a wonderful pool of resources. Hilda, you're really talented at what you do. How did you get started in your business?
I literally went through and had to declutter my entire home, and thought it was so wonderful, such a wonderful experience. I'd been laid off from a previous career, and my husband had been home with our young kids, and he did a great job with the kids, but our house had a lot of stuff and it had built up, and I didn't have the time to take care of it. So when I was looking for work, I spent time decluttering and organizing my house and realized how much stuff we had. And by the time I was finished, it felt so freeing. I felt like a weight had been lifted off of me. And so instead of looking for work, I decided I just wanted to do this for other people and give them that same sense of freedom and hope, and freeing up their time to be able to do more of the things that they love doing instead of feeling bogged down and weighed down by all the stuff in their homes.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see how people arrive at discovering their passion. And sometimes that comes a little bit later in life, and you've already worked on one career, so it could be like a second career or a third career where the light bulb goes off and you're like, hey, this is my passion, this is what I really want to do. And it's similar for me in real estate. I got started because I was buying my first property, and I thought, like, okay, like this whole process is kind of neat. You get to help people find the place where they're going to lay down their roots. And every transaction is different, and every personality is different. Yes. So that's sort of how I decided to get involved and started in my business, is going through the experience myself. Yep. So yeah, that's really important. And I mean, all five of us I know are very busy women. I wanted to ask about work-life balance because I mean, it's difficult just to manage everything, because like I said at the start, like we're daughters, mothers, wives, sisters, all of that, and then you're running your business as well. So how do you all manage all of that? How do you juggle all of that?
I'm still trying to figure it out. It's hard. It's very hard. And but one thing, I do have a daughter, and I want to set that example for her to be independent, not to depend on others, but to be independent herself. And sometimes showing, or your actions show her. I don't even know how to explain it, but like a strong role model, I think is what I want to say. And anyone who has a daughter, or they want their daughters to be independent, to understand things, where our mothers, I'm not sure about yours, but my mother, like back in the generations, they didn't know about finances. Their husbands took care of everything. I've known aunts or elderly women who, when their husband passes away, they're stuck. They don't know how to pay a bill. They don't know how to, and we've evolved from that. Our generation has evolved from that. We're more independent, and we want our daughters to do that. We don't want them to go backwards. We want them to go forwards. And we also want them to have more than what we've ever had. And I think that's just a growth in life.
That's a really good point. So I grew up with a single mother. So this event that we're doing is important to me because I want to be able to provide an opportunity for women who may not feel entirely comfortable reaching out to get the answers that they want. So yeah, you made a very good point. Growing up with a single mother, I saw how it was challenging for my mother at some points to find the right professional that she felt comfortable with to answer the questions that she had. So it's great that we can come together as a group of women to offer that to other women. Maria, how about you? How's work-life balance for you?
Well, as Rosa said, it's, I have 2 young children, so it's difficult at times. And, being in real estate, it's so intense, and you have to be on the go all the time. Weekends, maybe evenings is for yourself. So it can be difficult trying to figure that out. So I kind of work around their schedule, my kids' schedules, and then kind of go on from there. I mean, there's weekends that I'm away, and they understand that. So, but it is kind of difficult. But
Sometimes, do you feel like sometimes it gets lost on people that as women, we're running a business, but we also have 500 other things on the go? Do you feel like sometimes clients don't appreciate that or recognize that in the whole picture?
I think women would understand it more because you're at work and it's like, what's for dinner? It's like, it's you're juggling. You're always juggling, and some people it might get lost, but others, I think, and that's why I think with women, we understand each other. We understand what our challenges are. We understand work-life balance, even though we haven't figured it out yet, or some of us have and some of us haven't. I think we understand the challenges of raising a family, showing good role models, being there for them, as well as having a career and things like that.
And doing all that without any judgment, because we understand, right?
Yes,
Like there's I go into people's homes and they're always embarrassed. I have so much stuff, but like I was there, I had all the stuff in my house, and it's still there. I have a family. We're putting things in the house constantly. We understand and we don't judge. We're just there to help people.
I think even getting the support, the right support. I think that's why we're all here, is supporting each other. That helps with your work-life balance, because I have learned that I can't do it alone. You need to have that support to the appropriate time, to get that as well. So I think that's important, that we can share with other women as well. Come to us, we're here to help, we're here to serve, and we understand where you are at. And we're willing to, to give that support and serve and give back in that way.
And I think it's important that, because as women, sometimes we don't reach out for the support.
Yes.
So it's, to be able to do that and to know and acknowledge that you can't do it all. We know we're super women, but you need to reach out.
Yes.
That's why we're here.
I think women think that they have to be superwomen. I know single moms with like 2-3 children, and it's like they have it in there. They have to do everything, and sometimes I just like hold back, wait, relax. But I think it's in us to be those super moms, to do everything for your family that you possibly can, and that's hard, and we don't.
And then
reach
still
out.
try and find some time for self-care.
Some of us ask, what is self-care?
Like literally have to schedule the self-care in, like, okay, I'm going to set aside 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. to relax a little bit and sit by myself with a book. And it's difficult. So where does, the other thing that we talk about a lot in Mississauga area Women in Business, I've mentioned that group a few times because it is a wonderful resource for any woman in the Mississauga area that's running their own business. It's been so helpful to me, I know, and I've learned a lot from the sessions and from the networking. And one thing that we talk about is technology. And I mean, we're here today right now recording a long form video, but there's so much being thrown at us, like do reels, do short form video, do this, do that. Oh, but this app is the newest app, and like, don't worry about that app. Like there's a lot to figure out. So what role does technology play in your business in terms of like marketing your business, but also helping your client? So how do you think it helps you, and how do you think it poses challenges for you?
I think technology is huge. I mean, look what happened with COVID and the pandemic. Now we can get a broader audience, reach more people. But social media basically is really big for anyone in business, and helping and reaching out to other people. So giving information, useful information, educational information, trying to help people through their issues or problems or whatever it may be.
And I think it helps people get to know you more, like doing things like this where you're sharing about yourself and your life. You don't get that the same from just reading something on a website. If you're speaking to people, they can understand a little more about who you are. I know for me, when I'm in people's homes and I'm looking at their stuff and I'm touching things, like it's a very personal experience, and they need to feel that they can trust the person that's helping them through that process. Same for all of us. There needs to be a trust factor, and when you know and you like and you trust someone, it's easier to move forward with those people and be less overwhelmed in the process. And so video and social media is a great way to do that, so they can get to know you first.
Right. I think you both hit on really good points here. Education, I think that is what's going to set professionals apart from each other, is are you educating your client? Is your client getting something from your social media? Or are you just posting photos of your breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day, right? Like, you have to be providing some kind of value. And then you made an excellent point about trust. So especially in what we do, what all of us do, people want to know, okay, is this someone that I can work with and trust with my financials, with like coming into my home? So I think that's an excellent point. Like, we're utilizing video so that people can get to know us, so they can trust us, right? Yeah, especially like in the financial aspect of things, right? They want to know that, does this person, have the experience I'm looking for, and can I trust them with my personal information, right?
Yes, and for me, technology works wonderful in my area, because I'm a person, I do like to meet my clients face to face, but then again, different situation, I am working from different offices, or I could be traveling, I can still give you that support through technology. I can still advise you, the resources are there. You want to have a meeting and we can share information on that. So for me, I love it. I do think it's a great resource for us women, because I can be anywhere and I can still give you that support, which is something that we are looking for. So I think it's a great tool that we can use anywhere we are.
Do any of you have any challenges using new technology or keeping up with technology? Like, how has that been for you? Are you able to sort of keep up with all the latest stuff?
Well, there's certain apps that are easier than others for me personally, but yeah, there's always changes, and they're updating something's new in the app. So yeah, you gotta figure it out. And
I know it took me a while. It actually took me a while to catch on to Instagram. I was old school with Facebook for a long time, and I knew I had to get on Instagram. It just took me a while because I had to learn it. I know it sounds silly now because, all the Instagram experts are probably like, Nita, I mean, it's easy, but for me, I had to learn it first, and then I felt comfortable getting started on it. Let's talk a little bit about how we help people in their life experiences and in one of the most important transactions of their life. So I work with folks to help them find the place where they want to settle and where they feel comfortable, where they want to start their family, where they want to lay their roots. Now, when I work with clients, I usually call professionals like you guys to help out with that. It's very much like a team project. Every client is like a team project. So when someone is looking to sell their house, what do you go in and do? And what's your expertise, and how can you help them with that?
Yeah, so when you're looking to sell your house, people want to see themselves living in it, and so they don't want to see all of your decor and your pictures and your clutter. And so I go in and I help people declutter as much as possible, the things that they're no longer using or need or love.
Do you ever get pushback from clients who say, no, I want to keep my family photos out.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to move that giant weird statue in the corner. Do you get pushback like that?
Yeah, and one of the strategies that I use to try to help them understand is that if you look at pictures of your home now and pictures on some other listings, look at the difference and see, because you want it to look nice and pretty and uncluttered so that people can picture themselves there and not picture your stuff. If your home looks too cluttered, no one's even going to come and look at your house. So you're not going to get bids, you're not going to sell it. So you might be wanting to hold on to all of that, but it's not going to be helpful for you in the sales process.
Right, and Maria, you're nodding your head, you understand that too.
I'm like, we're both in the same, stage, I guess you would say, when it comes to listing your home, because I also have that issue when I go into a home, and some people might not want to declutter, or maybe not. Or
you might have someone that doesn't want to move the 50-year-old lazy boy that's in the family room, right?
Like,
so I just, like as Hilda said, you go in and you just, try to explain the value of it and why you need to do it. And the way we live in the home is not the way we should market our homes. Right. So that's like a huge aspect. And you want your listing, MLS listing to show well in the photography, and having all of those tchotchkes or whatever decluttering.
I haven't heard that word in a long time. Tchotchkes?
Yes. But they can still keep all of those things. We can pack them up for them to take to their new home. They just don't need to be out while the house is for sale.
And that's what I say too. You're getting ready to leave and to move. So why not start the packing process now? Because it'll help you later on in the future when you are ready to move on out. So it can be, I find sometimes it's hard for people, even when you go in their home, as you mentioned, Hilda, because they feel uncomfortable with you going through their space or their stuff, and we have to try to make them feel comfortable, and we're understanding. I mean, I always tell them, you want to come see my home right now? Like, I have 2 young kids. It's not immaculate like a listing. I'm telling you right now. So you can come on over and see. So and then they feel more comfortable, and the process makes the process a lot easier.
Right.
And even from a practical standpoint, you're going to be packing everything in your house. You're going to be paying somebody to move it. You're going to be unpacking it all. The less you have through that process, the better. And you're going for a fresh start usually. So why not start with less baggage coming with you? You don't need all of the stuff from the old house, and you can start fresh in a new home afterwards.
Right. So Rosa, when I get a call from a new client, I ask them, okay, what type of house are you looking for and what's your budget? And I might have someone say, I want a house for $900,000. And then my next question is, okay, great, are you pre-approved for a mortgage? And then they'll say,
That's the
yeah. So that's when I say, okay, I know a wonderful lady named Rosa. I think you should talk to her, because before we go to see any houses, you should probably get pre-approved, right?
So the nice of what we do is we help the people, we help everyone know what their budget is. So what they can afford. Because that's the last thing you want to do, is be so stuck on a mortgage that you can't afford to do anything else. You pay the mortgage, but you can't pay your car loan. So that's the one thing about a pre-approval. You don't want, and then the other thing is also, you don't want to put a bid on a house and then condition, and all of a sudden it's like, I'm sorry, you don't qualify for that amount, right? And that's the scariest thing, is to have someone turn around and say, I'm sorry, no.
Does that happen often, where someone will come in with an expectation like, oh yeah, I should qualify for the $900,000 house, and then you have to go back to them after you've run all the financials and say, sorry, but you qualify for a lot less.
So the nice thing about being a mortgage agent with a broker, so we have many lenders. So what we do is we see where you qualify, and we can work with many lenders. It all depends on your finances, it all depends on your credit score, it all depends on everything. And then we work with you to see where you fit. But unfortunately, sometimes you have that expectation that you want this beautiful home and you can't afford it right now. Let's start smaller, and then you can work. So what we do is, this is your budget. This is how much you can afford, given what your down payment is, what you have. This is what you can do. Then you can approach your real estate person and say, hey Nita, this is what I can afford. This is what my mortgage agent told me. So can we look for properties within this budget for me?
Yes.
That way you are financially okay to proceed.
Yes.
Now, given this inflation and with interest rates and things like that, yes, you have to pre-qualify for a higher rate. So when the rates were lower, it was one thing, but now that the rates are higher, it's really important to figure out what my budget
Let's
is.
talk more about that at our event on May 30th. I'm just going to take a pause here that you guys, and remind you that you should register if you're a woman in Mississauga and you want to come and ask us whatever questions you might have. Go to womenonthemove.eventbrite.com to register for the free event that we're putting on May 30th at 7 p.m. right here at Royal LePage Meadowtown. Savitri, so once I found my client the house, and 60 days from the point that they've signed off on the agreement, they're going to be closing. So in that 60 days, they need to talk to you, right?
Yes, it's quite important that they do look for their home insurance, giving at least 2 to 3 weeks, to find the best rate, or at least speak to their broker. Depending on their situation, the broker may need to find the right fit for the client. As Rosa was saying here, that yes, you're putting in all of that money, you're getting your mortgage, you need to be financially protected. Your home is one of the most valued asset that you can have. Why not protect it? Make sure that you have the right coverage. Just not price. Price is a factor, but what I like to do and tell my clients is look at the markets, look at the coverages that you're getting, ensure that you have the right fit to suit your needs and you are financially protected. And
Right.
I think that is where some of the missing point with the value of what the insurance really brings to the table
Right.
under the home insurance. It's let it work for you when you need it. And I think that is the key there. Having the professional advise you on that, finding the right coverages, and getting the right price as well, but make sure that you're fully protected. When you do have a claim, it works for you, not against you.
Right.
And that is where the education part will come in.
So all 5 of us are working with clients who are making some of the biggest decisions of their life. How much does psychology come into play in the jobs that we're doing, where we feel like sometimes we're almost like their therapist in a way, right? Like I know in my job, sometimes I have to detach a person emotionally from their current property when they're making financial decisions and reviewing offers and whatnot, because people are very emotional about the place they may have lived at for the last 10-20 years, and I kind of have to shift their mindset to it being more of a financial transaction. So I'm sure like each one of you there's a little bit of psychology involved in working with your clients, right? Like especially with you, like a lot of people are probably very detached to the things that they have, right?
Yeah.
So how do you manage that? I guess it requires a lot of patience, right?
Definitely, a lot of patience, a lot of understanding, a lot of flexibility. People are very attached to things. They hold memories for them. And so if someone's been in a home for a long time and now they're looking to downsize or sell or for whatever reason, it's really hard to go through all of those possessions and make decisions. And so the sooner you get started, the better, so that there's that time to be able to think about the stories and the memories, pass some things on to other people that may want them in your family, just to be able to have it be less stressful and more of an enjoyable process, and so that in the end you're taking with you the things that you really love, and you're leaving behind some of the things that are less important. And you just have to really think it through, and it's very, very rewarding to be part of that process with a client.
And Maria, how do you get that person to move the lazy boy chair into the basement so that you can make the living room look beautiful?
Yeah, it's funny because sometimes it's also an attachment, because when I go into home and I will assess the home and see what needs to move out or what I'm bringing in. and there's certain pieces that they might have some attachment to it, and I just try to explain, it's not, you're not getting rid of it completely, you're not getting rid of it like forever, it's just, temporary is one thing, and another thing is that this is helping them get more ROI and get more buyers coming through, because there's also a psychological thing with buyers coming through the home and seeing the home.
Yeah.
So I know how to set up the home to get more people to want to come and see the home. So as I explain all that, they're a little bit more understanding, and then they're willing to maybe move that lazy boy furniture, because some pieces are huge.
Yeah.
And then I try to explain to them that, this huge sofa is taking up this whole space. We need to bring a smaller one in here so the person can actually see the space, because they're not coming here to see your sofa, they're coming here to see the house and the space.
Right.
And they're trying to envision themselves living in that space. Mm-hmm. So if they see oversized furniture or empty, vacant homes, they can't foresee themselves with their stuff in that space. So yeah, it's a whole process where I try to explain to them, and they're pretty much understanding, but it is difficult. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes I have to help them move their stuff or declutter too, but yeah, so it's hard.
a very
It's
stressful
hard.
time for people when they're
And you have to be understanding. And,
Yeah, it depends on what type of life experience they might be going through too. For example, I did work with a client a long time ago who was selling his aunt's property, who had passed away. The aunt did not have any children or any other surviving relatives, and it was the nephew that had to sell it. So it was a sensitive process, and for him to come in and have to manage everything that's in that space and figure out what to do with it, it was difficult.
Yeah, like you
Yeah.
said, you're a psychologist, right? Because you don't know what they're going through.
Yeah.
It could be a divorce, it could be a death in the family, and you're going into that, their sacred space, their home, and you have to, be a little bit delicate when you go in there and understanding.
Compassionate.
And compassionate, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, ladies, for that wonderful discussion. This is a sample of what we'll be talking about at our Women on the Move event on May 30th at 7 o'clock here at Roy LePage, Meadowtown, 6948 Financial Drive in Mississauga. Please register your seat now. We're going to have a wonderful event with door prizes, gift bags. There'll be some light food and drink. Register at womenonthemove, Mississauga.eventbrite.com.